everyone. So I haven't done any posts in quite a long time. I think it's been around 2 months. But I just wanted to check in just to let you know where I'm at with my post-surgery symptoms and progress. It's been a challenge. My ear feels really, really good. The scar is really good. But unfortunately, the tinnitus is really, really bad. It's like a lot worse than what it was before my surgery, which for those of you who have been following my journey, that's a really difficult thing for me to come to terms with, I guess. That kind of idea that it's probably never going to go away. It's been really, really hard, and it's quite severely affected my mental health in the last couple of months. It's been really difficult. I have started cognitive behavioural therapy, which has been amazing. But it doesn't come without its challenges. I think that there's a lot of stuff there that has been brought up that I didn't kind of realise before. Kind of things about how this whole thing has affected me. So yeah, it's been quite a challenge over the last... I've been doing it for 3 weeks now, and I've had, I'd love for anybody who has been through the therapy, CBT, please get in touch, because I would literally love to speak to somebody about it, because it's really fascinating, but at the same time it's like mind-boggling. It's just exhausting. I'm really struggling with the hearing loss post-surgery. I can't quite remember what the last update was that I did to you guys, but I don't think that I'd been to see my follow-up appointment with my surgeon the last time that I posted something. So basically, I had my follow-up, and he was really happy, had the packing out, which was like dreamy, and he basically said that everything looks fine, and that it had destroyed the bridging bone in my ear, but that just means that I've got to wait 1 year, and then if I don't have any recurrence with the cholesteatoma, then I get a reconstruction. And that reconstruction will be made of titanium, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so I'm just kind of waiting now. It's weird. Yeah, it's a weird thing. I mean, when I first had the results back, I was like over the moon, because it could have been so much worse. And I do feel so much better. Like, those people who are going through either like post-op symptoms or are waiting on their surgeries in the Facebook support group, honestly, it is so much better after. I just think that it affects everybody in different ways, and it really affects... It depends on the kind of person that you are. Like, if you've had mental health issues before, then definitely don't be afraid to reach out if you start to feel like you're struggling, because I think that for me personally, it's taken its toll quite quickly, and I didn't realise how bad it was until I had a breakdown. I'm joking, I didn't really have a breakdown, I just had a mini breakdown on a couple of occasions. So yeah, I mean, it's amazing because positives, I have no pain in my neck, which is great. No pain down in my shoulders, which is great as well. I don't have that like nagging, pressing feeling in my ear. The dizziness has stopped, which is great. Don't feel like I'm going to fall over 24/7 anymore. And what else is there? The headaches have stopped. The fuzzy eye has stopped, which is so good. I think, and my speech. So my speech is probably the best improvement. I think on my last post, I spoke a little bit about when I woke up from surgery. Even my husband noticed that my speech had improved within like an hour of coming around from surgery, which is just great news. So no more stuttering around, just as I try to say it, I stutter. No more stuttering around like a loon, and kind of being a little bit kind of with my words, which I think at the time I didn't realise how much it had affected me, and kind of like how frustrating I found it as well. So that's been an absolute pleasure, just to not have to worry about those symptoms anymore. But it has been replaced with this kind of tinnitus, which is like, it's almost, I want to say it's worse. So it's louder, but it's not aggressive anymore. So when I had the growth in there, it was almost like really like, it sounds really weird, but it's like the tinnitus was like really angry, and it was like quite aggressive, whereas now it's just kind of like quite chilled out, but it makes me feel far like, no, I don't feel chilled out with it at all. And it's been getting progressively worse, which is worrying. Now I do have an appointment on Monday, another follow-up, so this is 6 weeks after my surgery. I think it's supposed to be 6 weeks, but I think it works out to be about 2 months. How the dates have fallen, I'm really, really looking forward to it, because I just want to discuss with my surgeon the possibility of maybe getting a hearing aid. I know that I might not be able to have one until I have the reconstruction, and we see how that possibly improves my hearing. I really hope. Again, just reaching out if anyone has any advice or anything about kind of the stage that I'm at and the possibility of getting a hearing aid, and experiences or any kind of top tips. I'd love to hear from you. I think that if I could get a hearing aid, it would be amazing, because I'm really struggling to hear people, and I am absolutely exhausted at the end of each day when I'm at work, because I'm just struggling to hear. And it's so embarrassing. Like, I know that I'll get used to it, and I shouldn't be ashamed of it, because, you know, it's now part of who I am, and it's something that I'm going to have to accept. But it's just so embarrassing, because I'm a retail manager, so, you know, I've kind of got to be on my toes and ready to respond quite quickly and politely to people, and I found it really hard, to the point where today I had a massive panic attack at work, because I just struggle with having to say to people, you know, oh, sorry, I'm struggling to hear, and they get frustrated, and then it's like, no, I am actually hard of hearing, and then they get all flustered and they get embarrassed, and it's like, oh, no, it's fine, it's okay. And just having to kind of like explain myself, and I can feel myself going bright red, and I just don't want to. I just feel really sad, because I just want to have normal hearing. Like, it's just a really difficult thing to kind of get my head around, and my ears around. So yeah, it's just kind of trying to find a way to think of the positives, and there are loads, of course there are. You know, I don't have this horrible disease growing in my ear now, which could potentially, you know, eat through my skull and into my brain and kill me, so that's definitely a positive. But yeah, so the last few months have definitely been a challenge. There have been highs and lows. Like, I think that in terms of my mental health, I've really struggled, but there have been quite a few challenges. Like I lost my granddad, which is really, really sad, and I hadn't seen him in a little while, and you have all that guilt, but luckily I was lucky enough to manage to get down to see him before he passed away, which I feel so grateful for. And then I lost one of my cheetahs in Nairobi, my little Dani cheetah, which I hand raised. He was a little orphan, and yeah, it's just, I feel sad that I haven't had a chance to go out to Nairobi to see him in the last like 2 years, and yeah, it's just been a mixed bag, really. The euphoria of, you know, and the relief of having the surgery, which was just great, and I've had these beautiful moments where I felt like I've connected with myself again, and like had like little fleeting thoughts that remind me of my old self, which has just been amazing, to the point where I've almost like cried with happiness. It's just been lush. But then there's other moments like today where I just don't recognize this new version of myself, and it's really hard. Again, if anybody in the support group, or anybody who kind of follows my journey, has any can reach out and has any kind of support or advice about that, you know, the kind of transition after you've had your surgery, and the kind of positives and the negatives, and processing everything, I'd really appreciate any kind of comments or any top tips or anything like that. Yeah, so I don't think that there's anything else to report, really. I mean, the process of healing was really, really long. I never thought that it would take me that long to recover. So I was off work for 4.5 weeks. And then because of the amount of time that I had off, my business that I work for have been absolutely incredible. I couldn't have, you know, done it without the support of them, and you know, I'm really, really lucky and grateful to have such a great policy in place in terms of sickness pay and things. So I actually had for 4.5, it was actually, I think it was about 5 weeks off altogether for my actual recovery, and then I was on a phased return for 4 weeks, and this is my first week back full time, and I'm absolutely exhausted. Like, I feel just exhausted, but I think that it's a combination of the CBT working. You know, my therapist said that it's normal to have ups and downs, and to, you know, you really start to recognize when you're doing things, and I think that's the hardest thing, because you recognize that you're doing it, and then you get frustrated because you can't actually control it. So then it's just like a cycle. But I'm sure that will change in time. So I think that my program's going to, well, it's been estimated at 16 weeks, and I'm so excited. Like, I wish that I'd done this ages ago, but I think that it takes, you know, something quite big to happen to make you realise that you do, it like triggers that extra little layer for you, well, for me and my mental health, and then it's like, oh yeah, actually need to sort shit out, you know, get my head around a few things. But yeah, I mean, you know, I'm just trying to be super positive, and I'm really grateful for everything that I have in life, and just trying to stay humble. And yeah, I don't think that there's anything else to report, but I just wanted to check in, because I've had a couple of people just message me and be like, are you okay? But yes, I am absolutely fine, and you know, I am looking forward to my appointment on Monday, my follow-up appointment, and I feel like I've got something inside. Like, I don't think I have any packing left in there, but it's like, maybe it's just a bit of scab. It's just really gross. And the scar, every time I like raise my eyebrows, it feels really tight. I don't know. I'm not even going to try and show you, because it'll probably just mess up and you'll see like my teeth or something. So yeah, so the scar's going really well, but it's just gets like really hot and it quite itchy and tight, and then the inside of the ear, I reckon I might have a little bit of an issue going on because I've had quite a lot of shooting pain, which I just want to get checked out. But I'll see my surgeon on Monday and say, you know, get the little microsuction down there and get whatever is in there. I mean, wouldn't it be great if he like sucked all the scab out and then my tinnitus stopped? I'm not going to get my hopes up because I just know it's not going to happen, but that's just what keeps going through my mind. So yeah, I'll post if we have any more updates, and if anybody, you know, has any advice or any support, any insights to offer me, please get in touch. I'd love to hear from you, because I is struggling, not gonna lie. So yeah, big love, and I'll catch you guys soon. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend.